chameleon.
We're not so different, you and I.
Skadoosh.
The hilarious trailer for the upcoming epic installment of the Cherished franchise, which gave us our first introduction to the enduring panda warrior Po, promises an incredible ride. But some things don't make sense at all, so we're here to break it down for you.
Who's that?
The most powerful shape-shifting sorceress, the chameleon.
One of the most well-known animated martial arts franchises, produced by DreamWorks Animation and distributed by Paramount Pictures, is the Kung Fu Panda franchise. DreamWorks is undoubtedly revisiting the theme with another film due to its enormous popularity and demand. Fans are thrilled with the anticipation over the trailer that was released on December 13th, 2023, which features the return of well-known characters as well as the introduction of a formidable new antagonist. On March 8th, 2024, the fourth installment of the franchise will hit theaters. Master Shifu informs Po in the first scene of the teaser that he has been selected to take on the role of spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, replacing his previous role as Dragon Warrior. Then, Master Shifu instructs him to make an effort to find inner peace. Po tries to follow Master Shifu's advice and meditate, but he finds that meditation is not for him when silly thoughts start to cross his mind. In the second movie, he achieved his mental peak. In the third, he regressed a little, but by the conclusion, he had once more matured.
Me teach? I mean, why not Tigress? She's always telling everyone what to do.
Be quiet, Po.
You see what I mean?
It seems that he's having difficulty finding inner peace at this point, which clearly annoys Master Shifu. What therefore is the purpose of his new journey? Accepting himself as he is, finding closure for his past, defeating his destined foe, balancing his many responsibilities in life, and mastering the Chi are all lessons he's learned. From there, where does he go? It appears that Chen, a fox, will need to be trained as our cherished panda replacement. Furthermore, a fresh antagonist is emerging. Suddenly, Chen shows up in a cell and informs Po that the recent sightings of former villains across the valley are caused by a powerful sorceress named the Chameleon. Furthermore, she asserts that she is on the inside in the edited version of the trailer. This is the start of our first problem. According to the plot synopsis, the Chameleon can only call forth former enemies by wielding the Staff of Wisdom, which is evident in numerous scenes from the trailer and is known to be in Po's possession even before and during his time working with Chen. Remember that Chen wants to take Po directly to the Chameleon and is purportedly someone on the inside. I think it's time to smash that like button. But seriously, it is safe to believe that all Chen is doing here is drawing the Dragon Warrior to the sorceress in order to steal his power and his staff, with the goal of summoning villains and stealing their powers as well.
Who are you? Buddy, I am the Dragon Warrior.
If you watch the teaser, you might be wondering, how does this explain the discovery of old villains across the valley before Po even knows who the Chameleon is? The Chameleon appears to have commanded over a sizable population, an army if you will, in the official teaser. The possibility that the Chameleon could use this crowd of people to stage some fake sightings to attract the Dragon Warrior's attention and take his power does not seem overly unlikely to me. Anyways, this leads us to the scene where the Chameleon transforms into a copy of Po and then summons Tai Lung, not the other way around. By the time he arrives, Po has already lost. I want to talk about him for a moment now because I think he has a much bigger part in the story than we realize. In fact, if my prior suspicions about Chen were accurate, he might be preparing for a redemption arc that could influence her to switch sides. I'll start with the minor redesign that was applied to him. A closer look reveals that Tai Lung's facial proportions have been altered to appear less mean overall and a little more aesthetically pleasing. It appears that he has been deliberately made to appear less of a villain in general. On the poster, there is then some very obvious evidence. Kung Fu Panda depicts its heroes as being surrounded by golden light, while its villains are shown in frigid light. Also, it's evident from the poster that Tai Lung is depicted in a golden glow alongside the other main characters. You may be thinking at this point that he has his globe because he is a spirit from the spirit realm. After emerging from the spirit world, he might have had a gold glow for a while, but this glow appears when the chameleon knocks him to the ground. It's not something that will remain constant about him. The original Tai Lung form and the Tai Lung form with chameleons have entirely different colored pants. If the two were intended to spend a lot more time on screen together than we were initially led to believe, then this change would make sense. In addition, Tai Lung's voice actor is expected to make a comeback. Tai Lung is purported to have a large role in the movie, and there are two significant plot points that we already know about and that Tai Lung could fit into. The summary claims that Po must train a new student to succeed him when it comes time for him to step down as the Dragon Warrior. Nevertheless, it's clear from the trailers that Po doesn't want to do this.
I think he heard us.
I didn't hear anything.
He said you're a loser.
As a Dragon Warrior, he adores his role, since neither Po nor Tai Lung wants to give up on what they believe to be their destiny as the Dragon Warrior. I believe this is where they can start to agree. Now, let's discuss the villain. The chameleon is said to be able to summon villains from Po's past in the plot description. There is some freedom for speculation, even though it has been assumed that this refers to a full-on resurrection. On the question of whether the chameleon can truly bring Po's former enemies back to life, there are differing opinions and contradicting reports. Some say that she can bring the dead back to life, while others assert that she just assumes their form to trick Po. Assume that the chameleon can legitimately bring back villains that Po has defeated in previous films. Isn't it a very simple way to suggest that Po will have trouble overcoming the antagonistic force in this film? The concept does sound intriguing, to be sure. She uses her tongue to touch an enemy, taking their power. Then she shape-shifts into that enemy.
Once I possess the kung fu of every master villain.
That's a really neat skill. The problem is that Kai already pulled off the steel power ruse. Chen was the bad guy with an army as well. Each of the three previous antagonists had a distinct fighting style. The chameleon, well, if she becomes Po against Po as the teaser implies, then it's gonna be evil Po versus Po. Additionally, it seems like a typical unanticipated power creep for Po, who had already defeated Kai to face a formidable challenge from his new foe. As an endgame antagonist, Kai was given a lot of screen time despite being the least interesting of the three previous antagonists and a letdown. He was at least as strong as that tortoise and Ogwe's archenemy. His ability was distinct and powerful. He had unlimited life. Ogwe disclosed that he had anticipated Kai's comeback and had laid the groundwork for Po to overcome him. He was the only bad guy Po truly couldn't defeat on his own.
It was never my destiny to stop you. I have set another on that path.
Po defeated Tai Lung and Chen entirely on his own. However, he needed the chi from his friends and family to defeat Kai because his best strategy was ineffective against him. But there are also rumors that Po will be the last person to be killed by the chameleon in the future, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. If the Furies 5 don't appear in this film, I'm sure we'll see them in another. Unfortunately, Chameleon has brought back some old foes, probably not in the way fans would have preferred. Some fans, like us, who have been waiting for Tai Lung to return may be disappointed by this, but in a completely different way. Fans might be pleased, though, if they adopted an intriguing idea to make these villains themselves. One possibility is for the villains of the past to realize that they must collaborate with Po, as she appears to be the most powerful villain he has ever faced. If this is the case, I'm not sure how DreamWorks will handle it precisely, but I think it will make for an intriguing storyline. Maybe they'll be able to defeat the copies of themselves the chameleon has made if they can finally overcome themselves and let go of the false destinies that they have given themselves in their minds. Perhaps it is through Po discovering this and assisting Chen and Tai Lung in doing the same that he learned to become a spiritual leader. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.
No one will dare question my power.
Not even the great Dragon Warrior.